All right, so it's time to do a little update on our Singer project. This is our 1954 Singer Roadster. It's an SM 1500. Stella wants to check it out and see what's going on. It's got a lot of mismatched parts, some for the better, some for not better at all. This was advertised as a running and driving car that just needed a little work to get back on the road, and it turns out that it needs a lot more than that, probably an entire restoration. And I've started it because it's a cool car and I'm invested in it, and I got to get it off my lift. And Stella wants to go for a ride. You want to go for a ride in a cool little convertible? I know you do. Just have to wait for the weather to get better, huh? It's a little cold and winter outside. So let's get to this thing and let's see what we got here. So it's pretty crazy. We've got 5-bolt wheels on 4-bolt adapters that go to the original Singer drums. And we've got blind hole brakes. The brakes were completely seized. The pedal was hard as a rock. Could not budge the pedal. Turns out the pistons in these cylinders, where are they? Right here, the pistons are steel, and they metallically vulcanized themselves. Is there a rubber seal there? No. To the aluminum wheel cylinders. So these are old Lockheed wheel cylinders, 7/8. I got some new kits coming for them. They're super expensive, super rare. I hope I can save them. I thought that the brake cylinder, the whole braking system was bad, but it's not too bad. The hoses are in okay shape. I may get those replaced. In fact, I probably will. But I've been cutting out all the janky stuff. There was an oil cooler system here that was just nasty. I took that all off. It was abandoned. That was where the oil filter resided. The oil cooler that was here underneath the car is now gone, and I fixed the old crank starter. This is where the rod would go through to start the engine, the original engine. This car does not have the original engine, and it has rack and pinion steering, which is an add-on. I don't know what it is, but as long as it works, it's fine. What else did we do? We took the horn out of the wheel well. There was an Uga horn up in here. In fact, it looks just like this. Big old heavy clunky thing that was rattling around, wasn't even bolted on, didn't work. I've got the pedal cluster in a bucket here. The clutch master cylinder was completely seized, the clutch slave was seized, and the clutch hose was cut and cracked. It's all no good. So I've ordered some new master cylinders. They're coming. Same thing with the brakes on this side. Wheel cylinders completely seized. Had to use a torch to get them out. Just a little heat on there will pop those right open. Let's move to the back of the car. Actually, no, let's not. Let's look inside here. There's still a chain that holds the engine in place. Total janky jank. I got some motor mounts. I cut off the bumper things that were on the front that were all whacked. Lots of Bondo on top of the aluminum, which then the aluminum was impacted and it cracked all the Bondo. Really nice. Really, really nice. And we get to the back here and we're looking at the back brakes. I finally figured out how to get these drums off. The original owners thought it was a good idea to cut one of the lug studs to get one of the let me show you. This is this. So they want to put 5-bolt wheels on it. So what do? You fabricate lug extensions like that to make it work. Unbelievably janky. This axle seal is leaking. You can see the brakes are completely glossed over. I've got to figure out how to get this axle out. I think I got to take the shoes off to take that backing plate off and figure out if I can replace the seal. I have replaced the oil in the differential already, which I shouldn't have because I didn't know this was leaking, but I should have figured that out. The oil was pretty dirty in the differential. When I drained the transmission, let's get over here. It has a Volvo drain plug on it, these big old square things. A spring came out. Probably the reverse detent spring. That's always nice. There's a magnet on there that collected the spring so it didn't get caught up in the gears, but I changed the engine oil. I put a new filter on it. I just didn't expect to get wrapped up in this thing as bad as I am. And this wheel here, other than the brake return springs being on backwards, they're supposed to be on the inside, it looks pretty good. But I'm probably going to have all the shoes redone. I'm going to try to save the wheel cylinders and rebuild them. These are just blind hole singles on the back. And actually, this car is not supposed to have hydraulic cylinders on the back. It's supposed to have mechanical brakes on the back. Somebody has added this, and you can see the hose looks funky. So it never had hydraulic brakes on the back. I don't know, but that's what everything and everyone tells me. You can look inside here and see the wood. It's actually holding up a decent amount. Somebody's used quite a bit of fender washers to try to attach the fender. I don't know what's up with that. Car is all aluminum over wood. All aluminum, so I guess it's good I don't have rust. I do have Bondo though, and quite a bit of it, and a lot of it's broken. So listen to me gripe, will you? There's Bondo over rusty aluminum. Wait a minute, aluminum doesn't rust. Maybe that's a steel fender. Don't know what that is. There's a hole there. So we're going to keep working on this thing. I hope to make it run and drive someday. A little underwater in this thing, but that's okay. I'm certain it'll be fine, right? As it always is. So we've got to still fix the gear shift bushings, the steering bushings, the brakes, the bearings, the clutch master slave, and then we'll have a running car. So that's the update. It needs a lot of work. Basically, it needs a ton of work to be running a driving car. That's basically just it. That's just it. Thanks for watching.